Say, hey, do me a favor. I can't get a picture. I told you, don't do that. No, you cannot.
It doesn't matter how good 35-year-old Vivica looks. She doesn't look better than 25-year-old Vivica.
Tell us the truth!
All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of AlphaRonomy, a.k.a. Dr. BOA. Yep, I got time today. Vivica Fox is the one example of the black woman who was absolutely gorgeous when she was younger, who just didn't even find a way to not only have a man, bro, she don't even have a kid. And now she in her 60s, bro. She'll never have a kid of her own. And I'm going to be honest with you, when she was younger and still desirable, maybe even in her 40s, maybe even early 50s, like she had enough procedures to where she still looked fairly decent. Now, to be her age, she still looks younger than her age for the most part. She can still dress up and clean up and look younger than her age. But now, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, physically, she's forced to be honest with how old she is. And now it's to the point, bro, where she don't even want validation from men anymore. You know it's sad when a woman who has no man and has no children is so bitter that even validation makes her angry. Let's take a look at this clip and we'll come back and chop it up on the real tip.
But don't do that. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't get loud here.
Oh, please. Since you looking buttery good.
I don't know. See what
Can I get a little picture?
Hey, do me a favor.
I can't get a picture.
I told you, don't do that. No, you cannot. Yeah, much love back at you too.
How you treat me?
Hey, where are you?
I'm going to be honest with you, brothers. I looked up this and I had to see what she was so upset about what he did. He simply gave her a compliment, bro. He didn't say anything sexual. He didn't sexualize her or anything. He just gave her a compliment. And bro, you got to see how the women in the comments went crazy. I mean, they literally were talking about, well, he did Taraji P. Henson like this and blah, blah, blah. Bro, you can't even give these Americanized women a compliment. You understand? Because here's the thing, bro. They want to accuse you of sexualizing them when they're doing it to themselves. There's plenty of pictures of her, plenty of images of her doing that exact thing to herself. Angel Reese is another who does it to herself, then complains about it. I'm just telling you, man, these women are so toxic and delusional that you should just leave them alone, bro. Like when they have this type of energy, it's not even worth dealing with them, not even worth talking to them. And they don't care. They don't care if you don't want them. You know what I'm saying? They don't care if you don't want them because they think they have better options. They think they do. So when you see her behave like this, bro, the validation means nothing to her anymore. Validation means something to younger women because they need it. They think they're too young and dumb to figure out that validation don't mean I like you. Validation mean I want you. It don't mean I like you. It mean I want you, but just to play, not to stay. That's what validation means. So when they post a pic and they get all this validation and all these guys are talking about this and talking about that and they're going on and it's in the comments talking about, man, what they'll do and how much they want and how bad she is and all of that. She thinks that means that she's desired in a way that's long term. No, those guys only, they would love to just be able to touch you for a little while and then go on about their business. They're on to the next woman that looks good that they haven't touched. And Vivica realizes that. She understands that throughout her entire life, she's got all of that validation about how beautiful she was, all of that validation about how sexy she was, all of that validation about how phenomenal she was, all of that validation about how drop dead gorgeous she was. And it got her nothing. It got her no kids. It got her no man. It got her nothing that she wanted. It got her no closer to what she wanted to be. And as she got older, she realized that it didn't even get her roles. She realized that at a certain point, she couldn't even sleep her way into a role. She couldn't even sleep her way into a situation because after a certain point, when it comes down to physicality, men always want younger and fresher. So when she's 35, there's always some 25-year-old woman who's willing to sleep her way to the top that executive is going to take over a 35-year-old Vivica every time. It doesn't matter how good 35-year-old Vivica looks. She doesn't look better than 25-year-old Vivica. And what women don't understand in this society is your youth is your only weapon. Your youth is your only weapon. It's your only gift. There's nothing else you can give a man that has value except your youthful exuberance. So whatever man you gave your youth to, that's the man you're supposed to be with. And the reality is, if you've been, now you understand that you get to a point where any validation you get is for one thing. And at her age, being postmenopausal, she doesn't want to be intimate like that. Stop listening to these women that's 30 talking about, well, my grandma, she still like to get it in. Have you seen your grandma get it in? Or is your grandma just doing this like you doing? Oh, your grandma just running her mouth by how she like to get it in. The majority of women in their 60s do not want to get it in. Because you know what? The majority of women in their 60s do not have an option that they want to get it in with. There is nobody that she wants that's trying to talk to her. She said, but yeah, I'll give 50 another chance. Yeah, I'll do it again. The problem is 50 ain't going to give you another chance. No man you ever had is going to give you another chance. You're done. There's other women that are dating these men now. Let me tell y'all something right now. This is the reality of it. Jamie Foxx has a girlfriend in her 20s. Marcus Houston has a wife he's 20 years older than. These men, it doesn't matter. If you're a 50-year-old man and you got any amount of money together, you can still have a wife in her 20s. A 60-year-old man can still have a wife in her 20s. A 60-year-old woman cannot have a man in his prime.
Tell us the truth.
Everybody wanted to bump into you, meet you, holler at you, get at you, all that. And I was there. I was there too. Like I got to bump into Vivica somewhere. Like you calling your personnel, your people that's working with you. Come on, man, get me on the set. I just need to meet her. Straight up.
And to be honest with you, Dion, the only time I remember seeing you was at a party.
Right.
Going down some steps.
That's right.
Quickly past me.
I'm telling you the truth. I wanted to get at you. I wanted. I did. Mm-hmm. I really did. I'd never bumped into her nowhere.
No, that is true. That is true. But you know,
I want y'all to understand something. Now, Prime is saying, I wanted to get at you. I wanted to get at you. That has nothing to do with wanting to wife her up or anything. Prime wanted to smash. Why? Because if you were at the top of your game, Viv was smashable. That's why Viv don't have no kids. Because Viv was smashable. That's why Joy Taylor don't have no kids. Because Joy Taylor is smashable. When you look at these women out here, man, and they came up through the ranks, they were smashable. You can tell they were smashable. You look at all the men they dated, and I'm going to be honest with you, brother. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, and y'all can believe there ain't no dating and mating going on in them situations, man. Y'all crazy. If it's some dating going on, it's some mating going on. That's just how it is. When you got money like that, man, you ain't just got to be hanging out with no chick, man. Bro, if a chick come around, she already know what time it is. I mean, you may drop her a few dollars or whatever, man, but she already know what time it is. That's just how it is. And, you know, Vivica has a history of being one of those type of women, but let's keep listening.
I want to tell you just how proud I am of you and your accomplishments.
Thank you.
To see the man that you've matured into.
Thank you.
More than anything else is what I'm the proudest of.
I appreciate it.
Because back in the day, you know, we was both in our zone doing our thing.
Now, back in the day, we were both in our zone doing our thing. This woman admits that she was in her zone doing her thing. And she's proud of the man he's become. Here's the problem with her and him. He's got kids because he had a wife. So when you look at a situation like this, you got to remember the way a woman chooses to live her life when she's young, she is going to affect her differently than it does a man. A man can whore around all he want to in his 20s, even his 30s, and then decide he going to settle down and be good. And come out of that, be good. You know what I'm saying? Possibly have, you know, multiple other opportunities to have a wife, because if you're a man and you establish yourself, you're going to be able to get a wife. A woman, it don't matter how you establish yourself. When your youth fades, you're not going to be able to have what you want to have. Now, they'll brag about it, as we'll see later on.
Hey there. So I'm just driving home from work, and I just realized, I was just thinking about it. I have not been touched by a man in over 6 years. And I mean touched in that way.
She has not been touched by a man in over 6 years. Now, she says that like it's something to brag about. But when you're an older woman, that's not something to brag about. You ain't been touched by a man in 6 years because there ain't that many men that want to touch you. Not men that you want. Man, when a woman gets to a certain age, the only option she has is really overweight men or men who have nothing and they're trying to live off of her. A woman at a certain age does not have the options that she once did. And so it's a whole lot easier for her to be celibate for 6 years. You want to impress me? Find me the 20-year-old woman that's celibate for woman who started celibacy at 20 years old and now she's 26 and she's been celibate for 6 years. Find me that woman. Now, physically, our prime isn't our physicality. Our prime is our success. The goal is to mesh the two to where you're pretty much still at your physical peak and then you hit your financial peak at the same time. That's the space of perfection for a man. But our peak is when we get wealthy. If you're in good shape, but you're broke, there's a woman out here that'll leave you for Warren Buffett. Hell, your woman may leave you for Warren Buffett. Your woman may leave you for Donald Trump. I'm telling you, bruh. Well, let's call him President Trump. Let's put some respect on their name. Y'all call Obama president every time. Y'all still call him president. So when you think about it, bro, I want y'all to understand, man, that these women have an expiration date. Don't ever let these women, no matter what their age is, dictate to you what you need to do. Because in 10 years, she'll be wishing whatever you wanted her to do. Whatever time you want to spend with her, she'll be wishing for that option again because she won't have it. You just keep grinding and growing and getting better, becoming a better version of yourself every day. And you'll see that 10 years from now, you'll have an even better option than she was right now. Believe me when I tell you that. Y'all comment down below and let me y'all think about this one, man. And let me know if y'all have situations, man, where you saw a woman 10 years ago and she was trying to act like she was too hot to try, she was too much to touch, she was too cold to hold. Now you see her and she's, hey, how you doing? Well, how you been doing? Where you been? Everything good with you? You're looking good. Blah, blah, blah. I know this shit happens to me quite a bit.